Tableau. The Taj Mahal, one of the greatest sights that we have in the world, a seven wonder of the world. It's not that easy to get to, especially from a Western country, as it's quite far from really every country in the West, though that didn't stop the British. But on my way I was to see the Taj Mahal. Things got very interesting right from the start. Once on the plane, I realized my seat was in the middle of the row, prime real estate for discomfort. On one side was an older man who seemed pretty well put together, but on the other side was. Yikes. It was a middle aged Indian man who seemed to believe in a no boundaries approach to travel. I had a small backpack that I intended to put in the front of my legs, right underneath the airplane seat, but this was a big problem for him. Putting the bag in between my legs was something that he just could not accept. He kept saying, "No, no, 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 it goes up, it goes up," speaking to me as if I was a child. As an almost 30-year-old man, I would do what anyone else would do in this situation. I completely ignored him. He wasn't a bad person, but he clearly had been used to having things his way. Within the first 5 minutes of this flight, which mind you was 10 hours, he took off his shoes and socks and perched them on the seat. Within 10 minutes of the flight, he was fast asleep. On me. I kept pushing him off, but he was a stubborn sleeper. It was a very, very uncomfortable flight. 10 hours he slept on me. He must have felt really refreshed, though, when he finally woke up when we landed. So I guess that's a good thing. Getting off the plane in India, the exhaustion from the long, awkward journey clung to me, kind of like the unwelcome guest who I sat next to for 10 hours. My legs were very sluggish, and I navigated through the bustling airport with really a lot of exhaustion. But then, amidst the haze of fatigue, a rush of excitement ignited within me. The thought of the destination, the majestic Taj Mahal, filled me with a sense of energy and purpose. I could already picture its eternal beauty, the iconic marble dome glowing under the sunlight, and the intricate detail that have drawn travelers, like myself, from around the world for centuries. I had prepared a private tour for less than $200 that would drive me 3 to 4 hours straight from the airport to see the Taj Mahal. The annoyance of getting drooled on for 10 hours had completely vanished. I was ready to find my tour guide and drive to see the Taj at sunrise. As I stepped outside, I felt the warm, humid air of India wrap around me. My senses came alive. India was louder than any country I had previously visited. I was immediately thankful I booked a tour, as this was not something I wanted to navigate on my own. Luckily, within like 3 minutes of leaving the airport, I pretty much immediately found my tour guide, and off we went to Agra, the city of love. My driver was a small, kind Indian man, his warm smile making up for his halting, so-so English. Despite the language barrier, there was a genuine sincerity about his demeanor that set me at ease. As we began the long drive to Agra, the early morning darkness hung heavy over the often broken roads. Somewhere along the way, he pulled into a roadside tea shop. It was 4 a.m., yet the place was surprisingly alive with energy, a small, bustling hub of activity in the middle of seemingly nowhere. I couldn't help but feel out of place. My clothes, my accents, even my awkward attempts to navigate the scene marked me very, very much so as a visitor. For a moment I wondered if I should have stayed in the comfort of the car, but there was no turning back now. I am normally in bed at about 10 at night, so seeing people out at 4 a.m. was a little surprising and also a bit unsettling. As the driver handed me a tiny cup of tea for the Indian folk, I felt both self-conscious and curious. Sipping the sweet, strong tea, I noticed the warmth of the cup matched the warmth in the air. And while I still felt like an outsider, I also felt a growing connection to the rhythm of this incredible place. Finally, I arrived in Agra, the famed city of love, where centuries of romance and devotion seemed to hang in the air. Well, not really. I mean, there were like cows walking on the street and everything. But it was the city of love, and I was there. As the car approached the outskirts of the city, the fatigue of travel gave way to a mix of relief and excitement. I was just steps away from the Taj Mahal, the jewel of India, and the moment felt surreal. But my romanticized vision of Agra took an unexpected turn when I found myself greeted by an entirely different spectacle. Monkeys! Not just a few monkeys, but seemingly hundreds of them. They were everywhere, perched on rooftops, skittering along walls, even boldly pacing through the streets. These weren't the adorable, playful creatures you might imagine, and anyone who's actually seen monkeys in real life knows this. These monkeys had unsettling confidence, and their sharp eyes sizing me up as if I was a potential target. My guide laughed politely at my discomfort, because I probably looked a little pathetic, and assured me that there would be no monkeys within the site. This is definitely welcome. And then, after escaping the monkeys, we walked in. The security was extremely tight, and a man practically checked my oil. But we were in. We were in the site. Walking through the grand gate of the Taj Mahal is an experience that will stay within my soul long after this moment has already passed. The gate itself is an imposing structure of red sandstone, intricately decorated with calligraphy and floral motifs. The frame, the entryway, it's all beautiful. As you step closer, your heart begins to quicken with anticipation, building with each step through the darkened archway. The cool interior of the gate throws a shadow on you, dimming the bright sunlight outside. It feels like entering a sacred portal, where the anticipation meets silence. At least it was silent at this hour of the day, since I did do the sunrise tour. You know that the Taj Mahal is waiting on the other side, but nothing can quite prepare you for that first sight. As you emerge from the shadows of the gate into the dazzling light, the Taj Mahal appears before you, perfectly framed by the archway. The sight is almost surreal, like a vision materializing out of a dream. It is shockingly incredible. The pristine white marble seems to glow, its surface catching the soft hues of the sky. The symmetry is flawless, the central dome rising majestically, flanked by its elegant minarets. The reflection in the long, still pool leading to the mausoleum doubles the beauty, creating an illusion of endlessness. The grandeur of the Taj Mahal is not just in the size or its perfection, but it is also in the emotion it evokes. It is a place where love and loss are immortalized in stone, and as you stand there, you feel the weight of its story. A story that goes as follows. The fifth Mughal emperor of India and his wife shared a profound bond that transcended the conventions of royal marriages. She was not only his wife, but his trusted companion and advisor. Her grace, compassion, and intelligence made her one of the most cherished figures in the king's life. They had a deeply affectionate relationship, and together they had 14 children. Could you imagine that? However, as the queen was having her last child, she could feel herself slipping away. She made the emperor promise her 3 wishes. One was that he protected their 2 daughters and the rest of their children. The second was not to remarry, and the third was to demonstrate his undying love for her. The Taj Mahal is the symbol of this undying love. When you walk around to the back of the Taj Mahal, the serene Yamuna River stretches out before you, adding to the monument's eternal beauty. This river was an important water source for the people who built the Taj, but its location has an even deeper reason. Across the river, you can see the Agra Fort, which you can actually go to as well. It's not that far away. And it is a majestic red sandstone palace that was used for the emperors. Within the fort lies a marble balcony where the king spent the final years of his life. On this balcony is the king's bedroom, and next to the king's bedroom are the bedrooms of the 2 daughters in which the king promised his wife to protect. The placement of the Taj Mahal was no coincidence, but rather planned so that the emperor from his own bedroom could look at the Taj Mahal himself. The Taj Mahal not only was a tribute to her memory, but also personal solace. He built it in such a way that it would always be within his sight, a constant reminder of their bond. From his bedroom in the Agra fort, he could gaze upon the monument and feel a connection to a woman who had been the love of his life. And today, you can go to the emperor's bedroom, just like you can go to the Taj Mahal, and you can see the sights of the unwavering beauty of the Taj Mahal, just like the unwavering love of the king for his queen.